live on your smartphone, in your car, at work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem, Bowen. I'm excited about the show that we have planned for you today because today I've changed the entire show to capture the essence of one young man here in the city of Saginaw that I think represents what our community has the ability to produce. I was talking about something completely different. And as I kept going, I said, wait a minute, we're going to change this and we're going to talk about a young Black man of excellence. That's going to be the topic of our conversation on today. And we're having the studio here today with us, Michael Baldwin, who is Saginaw United's first state champion. He's sitting across from me. You guys are going to see him in just a hot second. But before we do that, I also want to welcome his wonderful mother, Arshan Baldwin, who's here. You'll hear from both of them in just a quick second. And I think that this is an important conversation for a number of reasons. As we look at where we are as a community and we look at what's at stake as it relates to our young people in education and the things that are trying to be stripped from them, we now see that there is yet a pathway if we have parents and communities that come together collectively and we engage our young people and we support them and we provide them with the tools and challenge them to be great, that our young people are resilient and they respond to those challenges. And so excellence is something that is definitely in their wheelhouse. So I want to talk about that. That will be our main topic of conversation today, a young Black man of excellence. No, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about another young Black man who I'm extremely proud of on today. But you know how we start the show. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Matt. He jumps through hoops to make things happen for me. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
He's good. He's letting his hair grow out looking like Weird Al Yankovic over there, but we gonna rock with him anyway. We still gonna let him come to the barbecue because Matthew is my guy. All right, but I want to get started today. We always start by, hey, what's up, Sissy Cheryl? I see my sister out there. Sharice Steele Phillips was actually the first in the stream. We want you guys to like, tag, and share this conversation with everyone. But I want to begin by talking about what's on my mind. And there's a lot that is happening on my mind right now. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to give not a shout out, but a request for prayers for all of those who were connected and involved in that tragic incident with the Queen, the neo soul sultry Queen. When we look at who we're talking about none other than Angie Stone, who has really she and a couple of other artists. I think about her. I think about also, what's the little man who sings Love? You know his name. Come on. Music Soul Child. I think about some of those voices that created a new sound, which we refer to as neo soul, and she would be the queen of that sound. Angie Stone, she has died after a sudden crash of her bus as she was preparing to go to her next tour date. But in that, here in the city of Saginaw, you know that we are all personally connected. What I think that is so amazing is that we have so much talent that comes out of this little small city. But we have two individuals that were touring with her and have, when I think about James Owens Sr., he's been with her for so long, it almost seems like their careers are intertwined. And he worked his magic and brought her here, Black with the African Cultural Festival a number of years ago. And it was the most beautiful thing that I'd ever seen. So many Black people, a sea of Black folks coming and celebrating in Black love and Black unity. But we're mourning her loss, but we're also praying for James Jr., James Owens Jr., J2. If you listen to the song, the music at the beginning of this show, Straight Talk, if you listen to my music that leads out for United Shades of Grey on WSGW. Both of those music interludes were created and produced by James Owens Jr. He's a young man that is super talented. And as a matter of fact, I had an opportunity to speak with him just about about a week and a half ago. He just jumped into my spirit, and every now and then we check in and we call. And I shared with him that the enemy was trying to attack, but there's some things that God wants to do in his life. He is such a talented young man. So our thoughts, our prayers, and everything that is positive, we is going towards the total recovery and healing of that young man. And I believe that God is going to do some amazing things in his life. We continue to pray. When we talk about Angie Stone, we're thinking about songs like I Wish I Didn't Miss You. That was my jam. More Than a Woman, No More Rain. And then my favorite song, the song that she wrote for me, but I'm going to dedicate to another young man in the studio on today. That's right, my Black brothers. And to all my Black brothers out there, salute to you. As Angie would do on this day. All right, moving right along, because like I told y'all, there's a lot for us to talk about before we get to the main feature on today. I want to give a shout out to all of y'all. Power up, thumbs up, fist up, Black, brown, Puerto Rican, and Asian, everyone that stood in solidarity on our blackout on this past Friday. We are waiting to hear the full impact of that move. Many of you have said, hey, why are we just doing it one day? What is one day going to do? Hold your money for one day and see what happens. People start getting curious about what's taking place. But I'll tell you what is empowering and what is exciting is the fact that not only did we see us standing in solidarity, so many of us, our Black and our white and our brown counterparts, all of us coming together, because what we're dealing with is not just the Black issue. But as I said to you all before, we kick in doors and everybody walks through the doors that we kick in. And so if you're out there, this is about you. Hopefully some of you guys have awakened from your sleep. Shout out to my brother Kareem Hammond down in Charlotte, North Carolina. And you realize, and if you made a mistake, it's okay. Shake the dust off your shoulder. Let's get together and come on to the other side. That you made a mistake with what you were doing with your personal vote. But hey, it is what it is. But we do know that as of yet, our Target shares, those of you who have shares in Target, they're being impacted to the tune of nearly 8% currently over the past few months. That is economic empowerment. There are more dates to come. And let me tell you why this is so important. Because I'm reminded of what took place during the Montgomery boycotts when they were boycotting the bus back in 1955. And it's crazy, but we're fighting the same battles over again. It requires us, they did 381 days of boycotts, but it requires us to show some solidarity. It requires us to show strength and resolve. I put a text out to some of the pastors. We need to get together and we need to empower our communities and make sure that we're covering the needs that are being met, that are out there from people that are part of our communities, that are part of our parishes and our churches, to make sure that nobody goes without during the time that we're standing strong. And so some of you, y'all know, if any of y'all like my mama out there, like when I say I'm out of paper towels, that means that like I have like two of the little quarter things on the cardboard thing. I'm out of paper towels. When I say I'm out of toilet paper, that means I'm down to my last roll. And if I have to go before I get to the store, we might be in trouble. But there are some of y'all that's out there that, when you say, I'm getting low, you say you get low because you're not out. And you go in and my mother has, stuff stacked up. She got water like she could ration it out for a while. Sometimes we've got to look out for one another. We've got to stand strong with one another. But I want to look at more dates that are going to come. They are on my personal page. I will be putting them on Straight Talk about those other dates that are coming up. We got a date that's going to be real important for us to really pay attention to, and this is Amazon. And what we're doing in essence is that we are impacting and we're going at this new system, which is basically being led by billionaires. Now, this is the crazy story. A whole half of our country and then some voted for a billionaire, convict, felon, lying on taxes, won't pay his fair share, to come back into the White House to take care of corruption. And in order to do that, to look out the best interest for the everyday man, he brought with him another group of billionaires who are supposed to make the government work better for the everyday man. And what we see taking place is that we have a number of folks who are now mad. Why are we mad? Because the reality of the situation is coming to our doorsteps. We're now understanding that, I shouldn't say we understood this, but those who voted for him are now, I was looking and seeing a number of the Republicans who had been voted into office are now dealing, when they go back home, with angry crowds yelling, saying, vote him out, or do what we voted you to do. All of these different chants, because they're realizing that when you cut public assistance, the idea, and I'd say there's a big difference in America with what is idea, how we ideally think of America, and the ideals of what people think America is, and the reality of what's really going on. So when you cut SNAP benefits, and you're cutting these public assistance programs, and you're cutting these home rental assistance program, many people have been believing the hype that it's all Black people that are out there. But I want to say to you that 47% of African Americans are considered middle class in this country. When we talk about those benefits, it's not, some of us are not doing well, all of us aren't there, but about 47%. But when we look at what has been declining, it has been the decline of the economic empowerment of white America. And so when we talk about SNAP benefits, when we talk about welfare, that's right, I had to make sure you heard what I said. When we talk about all those benefits that benefit people, we have been taught and given this whole system of belief that it's Black people who are out there milking the system. They'll give you a story about a woman who's got 5 kids and she keeps having babies, and that's why the system, and they're abusing the system. But the reality of it is, I need you to go look at some of the poorest areas of our nation. Go to Alabama, go to Mississippi, go to MAGA country. That's what I'm talking about. Go to Kentucky. Go to certain areas of our community here in Saginaw, and you'll find the real recipients and those individuals that are really being impacted by this stuff. So now the chickens have come home to roost. Our votes are now making an impact on our regular lives. Jobs are being lost. When we look at this, we're thinking about all of the jobs that are being cut. That impacts folks who have voted for this current administration. I need y'all to understand something real quick. If you are a billionaire, what goes on Main Street in my community, usually you have no clue as to what it really looks like. And so to think that they are going to fight on our behalf to make good on promises of making America great again, that is a whistleblower technique, then you got to be a little bit out of your mind. But it's okay. We love you anyways. Get it together. And we're going to change things. Now, I want to say this before we get to my main man here today, and we begin to talk about Black excellence, a young Black man of excellence. I want to say this, and I want to encourage you all. You're going to hear a lot of narratives, and in our community, there are always those naysayers. They get $5 above expenses. They have, a basketball or NBA career, NFL career, baseball career, or they have some means by which they were able to, quote unquote, make it out the hood. And then they change their perspectives, and suddenly they become knowledgeable, and they become the experts on everything that we must do and why it's stupid for us to do certain things. But I'm going to tell you this: what has never been stupid is for our community collectively as a village to come together, for us to stand with our allies who understand the importance of the economic dollar. When African Americans we're spending over $1 trillion a year, we in fact are the reason why people benefit from the economy that exists, because we spend so much money. What I want to say is that we have to continually remind ourselves of the significance of our purchasing power. We as Black Americans, I told you, with that $1 trillion annually that we're spending, over $1 trillion, we represent a notable portion of this overall U.S. economy. I need to talk about economic development in Black communities. One thing that I want to say, shout out to my girl, Sierra Warren. excuse me, Sierra Crudup. Let me get it right because I don't want a man standing outside the door when the show's over. But she was sharing about how the impact in a positive way was felt on our blackout day. Why? Because we didn't run to Walmart. We didn't run to Meijer. We didn't run to all of these other places and turn our black dollar over into those communities. But we were very diligent to find out where can we do these things. If I'm going to get this, where can we do? And she said that they had amazing business with people patronizing black businesses, black small businesses. And that was an amazing testimony to hear. Now, why can't we do that every day? Why can't we begin to condition ourselves? There are some things that you got to cross the line and you got to get because we don't have yet. But when we sow those dollars into our own businesses, what that does is empowers those young entrepreneurs, those small businesses to expand services. I remember when Walmart first opened, and it was like a little country store with some clothes and some things of that nature. But as we kept taking our dollars out to them, they used those dollars to include lawn and garden. Then they expanded to having a bigger clothing section. Then they opened up an entire grocery section. That didn't happen overnight. Neither will our economic power that we need to have in our community. But if we continue whenever we can, we shouldn't have to have a scheduled blackout. But since we are, I appreciate it. But let's think about what can we do? Who can we go? If I need some lotion, instead of me going to Walgreens, who's doing lotion out there? Who's creating, oils and butters that are good for my skin that I can get? Yes, it might be a little bit more expensive. And see, that's one of the things we got to get over, is that we've got to understand that sometimes you might have to pay just a little bit more in order to really make the statement known. And so we got to continue to do this. When Black consumers intentionally spend their money in Black-owned businesses, it directly stimulates economic growth within our communities, creating jobs and fostering greater entrepreneurship. We need to continue these conversations talking about closing the wealth gap. Directing more Black spending towards Black businesses can contribute to the narrowing and racial health that we see in the wealth gap, creating more wealth within Black communities. We are able to do this. And if we saw anything in one day, if we can do one day, we can do two. And if we can do 2 days, we can do 4. And if we do 4 days, we can do 30. And eventually we will build a habit of thinking Black first. And I said this a million times, the Black dollar usually doesn't turn over in the Black community one time. We get our money and we take it to other communities. White dollars tend to turn over in their communities several times before leaving. Asian dollars. Now, this is the real story, where y'all go get your hair and your nails done. You get your extensions. We miss Wonderland Beauty Supply that used to bring us those Black products. When you go to Asian places and you give their money turns over in their community a minimum of 7 times before it leaves their community. That means that if I am the nail technician, I'm going to this person who's in my community to buy my food from. I'm buying my spices at my Korean shop or whatever that looks like. And we have to begin to understand that we need to have that same mind focus. Stop doing what's easy. But sometimes we're going to have to be a little bit inconvenienced for the good of the betterment overall. So underutilization due to systemic barriers. Sometimes not having things readily available impacts us. So those of you who are out there and say, hey, I go to Target and I buy Black at Target. Well, we're not shopping at Target right now. But you know what? Those same Black individuals, Tabitha Brown, she's all over the internet. Go and you can buy those same products online. You can buy them directly from the consumer. And let me tell you what that does. It also shows those businesses who are in those PWI, predominantly white areas. It shows them that they are able to stand strong and use their websites and their social media spaces to sell, and they don't have to have a middleman in order to make the money that they need. But we've got to play the game and we've got to work together. All right, so I'm going to get off my post on that. I was going to talk about the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and what took place in our Oval Office, but y'all saw it. It is a disgrace. JD Vance, I forgot about him. I haven't seen him since he was elected, but they brought him in because he was the most hardline against Ukraine, and they ambushed this man to get him to say uncle, to bow down and kiss the ring. And I'm going to tell you, Zelensky, I do think that you're a little bit cocky, but since I know you'll be tuning into this conversation, I just want to give you a shout out. I saw a social media post that used AI to show him giving Trump a slap across the face. It was hilarious, but that never would happen in this nation. Neither do we want it to. But we need to understand that what's taking place is that we have very rich people. Yes, they want the mineral rights. Who are the mineral rights going to benefit? Is it going to make the price of eggs come down? Not at all, because every move that has been taking place, everything that has been going on has been about enriching the billionaire status of many of these individuals and making them even more wealthy. All right, come on, Republican lawmakers, wake up, slap yourselves, wake up out of this, throw some water in your face, come back and save democracy. We need you at the helm. I want to get to our conversation. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I have the man of the hour. He is all over social media, and his wonderful mother. There's no way that you can be a great young man the way that you are without solid foundation and people at home who are rooting you on. That's none other than Michael Baldwin. Stick, stay, don't go away. We'll be back with more of Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Top of the morning, Mid-Michigan. Ryan Wasik here from Bell Wasik GMC Buick, your only local Buick dealer and home with a lifetime warranty. Stop chasing rainbows for fool's gold, because this month, if your old ride is yucky, I want to help you get lucky. It's out with the old and in with the gold. So bring me your old ride, and I'll give you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value, based on the price of the car you pick. Plus, you don't need the luck of the Irish at Bell Wasik GMC Buick. We're all about affordability. My solution specialists are like Lucky Charms. We work hard to help you find a car you love for a monthly payment that you can afford. So throw out your old and get some gold. Bring me your old ride, and I'll give you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value, based on the price of the car you pick. But hurry, like a lucky leprechaun, this deal won't stick around long. I'm Ryan Wasik, your dealer for the people. See all my sham-rockin' rides at RyanApproved.com. That's RyanApproved.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2025.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
If you've been waiting to hear Macy's winter clearance, now's the time. Get everything you've been eyeing all season long at prices that are worth the wait. How good? Think 40 to 70% off coats, sweaters, boots, and more. Plus, come in and get an extra 20% off all your clearance purchases. That's up to 75% off. So if you've been waiting to treat yourself to something cute and cozy, hurry into Macy's now, because you're not the only one ready to score amazing winter deals. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Craving something sweet? Fuzzy's Restaurant and Ice Cream Parlor has got you covered. This week, get $10 worth of ice cream for just $5. That's right, half off all your favorite frozen treats. Choose from 32 flavors of ice cream. There's something for everyone, whether you're in the mood for classic vanilla or something more adventurous. Fuzzy's has it all. So head on over to Fuzzy's, where tradition meets fresh flavors. This sweet deal won't last long. Hurry to RocketGrabPlus.com to get yours today.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is Kareem. We're back with more of Straight Talk. You know, as I was looking through some of the comments on social media, one of the things that I want to bring to mind, the next time we do this economic blackout, this blackout, and we are going to not shop at major stores, I want to speak to some of the churches who have fellowship halls and gymnasiums and things of that nature. Let's really put it on them. Let's not, SVRC, I know those businesses are doing well. I'm going to challenge those businesses to create pop-ups in our churches, and those other spaces that we have, and we will literally just knock out and serve businesses that are in those spaces. I think that's a great idea as well. I want to say out there, Greg Peoples, shout out to you. My man is talking about the man on the other side of the camera, talking about dude got a mustache. hey, he's earned one. He's earned a little bit of hair on the face. Congratulations. We see all of those well wishes continually. I want y'all to fill this brother's head with support and love. To everyone that's out there, I want to say, first of all, hey, welcome to Straight Talk. Mr. Michael Baldwin, I'm going to put some spec on your name.
Thank you.
Come on, man. Don't be so cool. We want to hear you as well. Welcome, Mr. Baldwin.
It's good to be here.
All right, there we go. And also, and I was so glad I got two for the price of one. I have with us the amazing, the illustrious, the powerful, the exceptional Arshan Baldwin. I've been a super fan of hers forever. Welcome to Straight Talk.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And I'm not making this up. I say this to you all the time.
You do.
And we're going to talk about that because today's topic is we want to celebrate a young Black man of excellence. And I think that it's amazing. And I am honored that we were able to get you in here and to have this conversation with you. For everyone that's out there, that if you are part of the city of Saginaw, if you're from SU, you need to be celebrating and excited. If you are part of the school board that has made the decision to unify these schools together, shout out to SU men's basketball who are doing their things.
Sir.
I mean, when you look at what has been happening, and I'm coming to the young man, but I want to say this because you are a part of the school system. Yeah. All of the naysayers, there's not going to be an immediate impact, all of these things. What do you say, Arshan, when you look at the success that the school, that the students are having, the teams, and how they've come together? What do you say about it?
I've always said that we're better together. And so folks should get on board or get left because we're moving.
We're moving forward.
We on the move. And United is amazing, and our kids are amazing. They were amazing separate. They're just more amazing now that they're together.
And they are amazing together. And I've been amazed at how, there have been a couple hiccups along the way, but for the most part, it has been wonderful. Yeah, somebody's out there putting Ivan Phillips. There are so many young people doing amazing things out there. But today, we're going to focus on it and put those young men. If you see other young Black men of excellence that are out there, like we're going to give a shout out to Ivan Phillips, put their name in the screen. We want them to celebrate. We want to celebrate them as well, because most people only talk about the negative side of our young Black men, but we have young Black men out there that are doing exceptional things. So I'm going to take a second and I'm going to brag about him in a little bit. Let me do that now. So if y'all listening, I want to brag about him first, and then we're going to talk about your journey to the championship circle. So his high school wrestling accomplishments started. You started wrestling as a freshman.
Yes.
And the reason that's important is because wrestling is a highly technical sport.
Absolutely.
And so people are starting as young kids. I knew that because there was a young man named Michael Waters who was telling me about how he was wrestling so long and how these kids start very young. You started as a freshman. MHSAA wrestling record, a total of 120 to 28. Is that wins to defeats?
Yes.
120 to 28. As a senior, 34 and 2. That means only 2 downs. As a junior, 25 and 4. A sophomore, 38 and 7. Freshman, 27 and 15. So you picked up late, but looks like you kind of ramped up your learning. You got the learning curve. What was your success, and how were you able to be so successful and learn this sport so quickly?
Honestly, I just bought in immediately, and I made it my life. I was really passionate in it, and ever since my sophomore year, I've been saying that passion's going to beat talent every time. I fell in love with the sport. I fell in love with the people that the sport had to offer, my coaches, my teammates, and sort of to give a shout out to my older brother, more so him. I've always looked up to him, and there's always sort of been like a one-sided rivalry between us. So
you have been doing stuff. You're like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. So if I see him do it, then it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it now, and I'm gonna do it better than you. And that's pretty much what it was.
You talked about the passion, and there's something I always say that passion is the fire of life. It is a fuel that moves a vehicle of purpose. And so you live your life with this passion. You continually say off record, I'm going to tell y'all, we were talking before the show, before our segment started, and I was like, where did this champion mindset come from? He was like, I feel like I've been a champion my whole life. and I had to turn to mom and like, Mom, this is what we doing? We just raising champions out there? So we're going to talk about that. But let me get back to continue bragging. 2025 MHSAA state champion. Yes, you the man. 2025 MHSAA regional runner-up. You're the district champion for 2025. State placed 3rd in 2024. You were getting your wheels under you. Regional runner-up, district champion, state qualifier. That was 2023. And 23, you were regional placing, going 4th place. So this is good because we're seeing an ascent from 4th to 3rd and moving up that ladder. 3-time Saginaw Valley League champion, 23, 24, 25. 2-time Saginaw County Invitational champ, 24, 25. 2025 Saginaw Valley League Wrestler of the Year. Saginaw County Most Valuable Wrestler for the upper weights. Freeland Invitational Most Valuable Wrestler. Lakewood Invitational Most Valuable Wrestler. 23, 24, 25. MHSAA All Academic Honors. Did y'all hear what I didn't say? Wrestling. I said academic honors. And he is not just a wrestler. He's just not a meathead. But he also he's got the brains along with the brawn. So MHS academic all honors. 2024, 2025 school year ranked #1 wrestler in the division. Won at 175 pounds by Michigan Grappler. 24, he was USA Wrestling Central regional freestyler placer. I'm going to read it all because this man is doing it. And we're going to celebrate this excellence. He is Fargo qualifier. I have no idea what that means, but I guess it's a big title.
It's the biggest wrestling tournament in the world.
Okay. See, Black folks traditionally have not, we don't get into wrestling. Yeah. So the Fargo qualifier, that is the biggest wrestling tournament in the world.
Yes.
educate your brother, okay? 16U freestyle champ in 2022, 22 as well. He was the Greco state runner-up in 23, freestyle state placer, 3rd place, 24 NHSCA national duels All-American, 8-0 was his record. USA Wrestling High School national showcase placer, 5th. Grappler Fall Classic All-American came in 5th place. There, we got it all in there. Okay, we got it all in there. So I am so very excited when we talk about this, though. And what made you get into wrestling? Let's start there.
You know, I always thought that I was going to be a D1 football player, and then go to the NFL.
Okay,
and that was you know, every kid's dream at some point. And when I got to high school, I realized it's probably wasn't going to happen.
Okay, what made you think it wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, it was just
size.
You know. It's just, but yeah, I got to high school and realized that football probably wasn't for me in the end game. And I remember walking into my counselor's office and I was like, I'm not going to play football at the D1 level, am I? She turns around real slow. She's like, probably not.
Shout out to Ms. Hoopers.
Yeah, shout out to Ms. Hoopers for keeping it real with me.
But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that's great. Some people may say that was a dream killer, but what I think is amazing is that we're no longer honest with these kids. Yeah. Come on, you 2.5 feet above the chair that you sitting in and thinking you gonna go and play with the greats in NBA.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to have a real conversation and somebody to level set for us. So that's what Miss Hoopers did for you.
Absolutely.
All right, shout out to Miss Hoopers. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So then I was a little sad, you know, hearing that. So I'm the type of guy that, like, if I do want something, I'm gonna go get it. And at the time, what I wanted was to at least play football at the D1 level. So I'm talking to my brother about it, and he's like, "Well, man, if you wrestle, you'll be a better football player."
Wow.
And Mr. Irwin is the one who told my brother that, and my brother told me. And he was like, "Well, if you wrestle, you'll be a better football player. You know, you'll get it's a contact sport, and so is football, and it goes hand in hand."
Mr. Irwin, are we referring to Billy Irwin?
Yes.
All right. So shout out to Billy Irwin. We want to celebrate everybody who's a part of this because you all are playing a part of this championship success.
Yeah.
All right. And so this is the question that I want to ask you. So you get into wrestling and you say, okay, I'm going to do this to become a better football player.
Mm-hmm.
When did it click to you? Like, wait a minute, there might be something to this wrestling thing. And I may be a little bit better than I thought that this was. When did that click?
Honestly, it had nothing to do with wrestling, but it's when I realized I had a 6-pack. Wait
a minute, is this when you were walking around and we couldn't see,
absolutely
shoot up around?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, because if I had a 6-pack too, I'd be sitting up here right now just rubbing it like a washboard. But go ahead. So go ahead.
So I mean, the wrestling practices were super hard. I remember my first wrestling practice. Not only did I throw up, but I also passed out. And my coach Angel, shout out to him, Angel Rodriguez. He was there for my first wrestling practice, and like I was laying on my back. Yeah, and he was like, he had me. Yeah, he was trying to rock me, keeping me from passing out. He's like, just don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. I closed my eyes and I passed out. But like the wrestling practices were hard. And after my first practice, I didn't really think it was for me. But I couldn't let it end like that. You know, I couldn't let something. I didn't want to be defeated. So I showed up the next day, and I showed up the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and it felt like I was just conquering it. And as I conquered the sport, I conquered myself, and that was a feeling that I just couldn't pass up.
So self-determination, and so it became a drive from inside.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing. I want to give Melissa Hayes. We're going to read this next time, sister. Use a few less words, okay? She says, "Congratulations, Big Mike. I am so excited for and proud of you. Big things are happening at the U. Archambault. Prater Baldwin is a true treasure. We'll talk about that in a minute. It is my personal mission that she get her flowers now. N-O-W. That's what we're doing. She is more impactful on the youth of our community than anyone I know." Well, thank you very much. But I agree. And I know some people. She knows a few people out there. So many congratulations. Delphine Allen, so proud of you. President Baldwin. Brandon Jackson, who has been doing a phenomenal job of giving new life to the image and the social platforms for Saginaw United. So proud of you, man. Cheryl Walker, perseverance. Yes. Cherise Steele Phillips, built to be a winner. I love that. I can't use less words. We know you. But we appreciate you. Great job, Arshan Prater, Supermom, Ralph Martin. All right, so how do you move? Okay, this is because you have always been little brother, and you have been in the shadow. I'll say this like this: you've been in the shadow of Big Brother Bear, who's now doing amazing things at the University of Michigan. Mom keeps us informed because I know some people get jealous and they're like, well, she just shut up bragging about her kids. But we're bragging about our kid on the radio today. Yeah. But how do you continually find it? And what I love is the relationship that I saw between the two of you. But how do you walk in his shadow, and how do you follow his path and break out eventually to where you find your own place to shine, and now you're walking in your own light? How did that happen?
Well, honestly, it just got to the point where I just had to have faith. Like, I'm definitely in Big Bro's shadow right now. He's doing great things. So let me just take this backseat and celebrate him, because it's something to celebrate, right? But my time's going to come one day. And when that day comes, it's going to be sweet. And I started to see that day. I started to like have visions of the other side almost. And like, it started happening when my hand would get raised. My hand got raised here and there, and then my hand started to get raised a lot. And then there came to a point where I was a better wrestler than him. And I was the only one who knew that at the time. And like, I was the only one who knew that at the time. When my freshman year, I won a freestyle state title. And I honestly can't even remember that day. I just kind of blacked out. And by the end of the day, I had a gold medal around my neck. And he was a runner-up. He lost to a D1 wrestler. He's great. The guy who he lost to in the finals was great. But that day I realized, hey, I'm pretty good at this. Like I'm better than Lionel. And after that, I started saying that like wrestling's my thing. This is gonna be my thing. And I was sort of telling everyone like, no, this is gonna be my thing. I promise you. I was just having faith. Like at some point, my time was gonna shine. I was gonna be on top, and like people were gonna see me, and it wasn't gonna be Lionel's little brother. It wasn't even gonna be that's Arshan's son. That's Michael. That's that wrestler. Wow. And now that's what they call me.
So I want to ask this question. You're in there. Someone say you got a bum call. You had to do this in overtime. You come back. You get the victory. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the emotion. You talked about operating off of passioning and using that as fuel. Like when I saw the pictures, I started smiling because you could feel the emotion in it. What was going through your mind?
I did it. It happened. It's here. Like it's happening. I've dreamed of this day since I can remember. I've dreamed of that moment, the moment where all eyes were on me, and man, all eyes were on me. Like half of Ford Field was filled with people, and they were all looking at me. Everyone was clapping for me, except for the parents of the guys who I beat. But everyone was clapping for me. And everyone's eyes were on me. My family was there. It felt like my city was there in Cleveland. Everyone was there. But it felt like they all saw me and they all saw it happen. The only thing that I could think was, God, you're right. God was telling me that my day was going to come. I just had to keep doing the right thing, keep waking up in the morning, keep getting after it. And, he will reward me with breakthrough.
I want to continue and follow up that question with this. Now being the first, there'll never be another first. You'll be in the annals of SU's history forever. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. It means a lot to me that it can mean a lot to others. For example, my brother, he placed third, or even before he placed, when he just qualified, he was the first qualifier for a very long time. In a very long time. And then he placed, and he was the highest player shot of Arthur Hill. So then it just got to the point where it's like, okay, well, I see these things, and he's literally my brother. He looks like me. He talks like me. He walks like me. So if he's doing that, that means I can do it too. So, and this goes to like the freshmen, the incoming freshmen, the sophomores, and the juniors out of Saginaw United who are even at the slightest interested in wrestling or doing anything, honestly, like, go do it and go get it done. Go after it, because anything is possible. Like I did it and I'm just some regular kid. Like I'm nobody special.
There is nothing special about you other than your desire and the passion that you work for. Don't talk about it, be about it. I want to share some more of these thoughts and concerns before we go to this commercial break. Eric Smith said, congrats, Mike. So proud. Brandon Haynes, very proud of mom and son. I bet you are. Geraldine Bowen Walker, what's going on, mom? She says, congratulations. Brando Adams, greatness. Lee Parker, all glory to God. Terry Reed, awesome job, young fella. The entire city is celebrating you and this victory. Cheryl Walker, history maker. That's what she called. We're going to get you a t-shirt called History Maker. Greg Peoples, been a dog since a pup. We certainly enjoy it. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how do we continue to create excellence in our young people. So we're going to talk mom a little bit. Stick, stay, don't go away. We'll be back.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why pay full price when you can enjoy amazing deals instead? Score epic deals like half off 1 hour of Trackman Golf Simulator play at Raby's Golf Central in Mount Pleasant, or head over to Fashion Square Mall to get a blueberry or strawberry lemonade for just $5 at Detroit Lemon Squeeze. While you're at the mall, stop into PD's Dugout for an hour of batting cage time, now only $20. But hurry, these deals won't last forever. Visit RocketGrabPlus.com to see all our available deals today.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Save big money on your next painting project at Menards. Get a paint that combines gorgeous color and durability. Dutch Boy's Platinum Plus is a paint and primer with a protective finish that guards against scuffs, spills, and stains. Refresh your home today with Dutch Boy paint. Get a gallon on sale now through March 9th. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, Mid-Michigan, love is in the air, and your friends at Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City are relationship experts. Really? No, not exactly, but we do have an offer that will steal your heart. Showcase Mitsubishi makes upgrading to a new Mitsubishi for a lot less. Super easy. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months or get up to $5,500 cash in your pocket when you buy any new Outlander. New 2025 Outlander SEL plug-in hybrid with all-wheel drive, leather, panoramic roof, and third-row seating. Just $399 per month with the Showcase Mitsubishi 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Still making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Showcase Mitsubishi wants to get you released from your loan or lease. Plus, with our Credit Builder program, our finance team will work hard to get you pre-approved at ShowcaseMitsubishi.com with no effect on your credit score. At Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City, the #1 Mitsubishi dealer in Michigan for customer experience 3 years in a row.
0 APR is 1667 per thousand finance, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year lease, 1990 assignment plus state and dealer lease. Includes all factory rebates, 0 security deposit with approved credit on select models. Offers not combined.
Behind the scenes, Michigan's public health team is working to make our environment healthier. Testing the water of our lakes and rivers, ensuring they're safe for play. Educating anglers, monitoring ticks and mosquitoes for disease. Approving septic systems and new home water wells. Learn how public health workers protect us all at michigan.gov/public health. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Things are just better when you switch to Cricket. The sun shines a little brighter. Happy music starts randomly playing. Best of all, you can get iPhone 13 for just $29.99. With the ultra-bright Super Retina display and up to 19 hours of video playback, all on Cricket's super-fast 5G network. See? Isn't that better? Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new account imported on $60 plan. First service charge and tax to its sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
with new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
this is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
All right, we're here for our final segment of Straight Talk. But before we get going, there is another Baldwin-related individual by the name of Nzinga. And for those of you who didn't know, I saw the social media clips and different clips and things of her on Sisters, Tyler Perry's Sisters. I want to say Nzinga and family. What's her mom's name again?
Cynthia.
Cynthia Baldwin. Cynthia, I love you. Is it Cynthia Ashford?
Baldwin Ashford. Baldwin Ashford.
Get it right. All right. So Cynthia, I just want to say I'm really impressed. You are a phenomenal mother. And so it's great to see Nzinga doing such a great son as well as your son doing great things. He's now officially an attorney.
Yeah, in Texas.
Yes. In Texas. So we celebrate that. But I want to say this about Nzinga. When I met her the first time, she was just quietly singing. She was at the church. I can't remember what was happening. She came over to the church and she was just kind of, I'm like, wait a minute, you sing? And then she started singing. I'm like, oh, you sang.
Yeah.
She is an amazingly talented young lady. I can't wait for an opportunity to sit with her right where you're sitting right now, Michael. It's in the bloodline, I guess. Being a champion and excellence is in the bloodline. But keep your eyes and ears peeled for her because she has the it factor. Yeah. Okay, so back to this. So we are looking at this, and I'm looking across the table at someone that I have always been very excited and enamored by from the perspective of just how she's able to connect with our young people in ways that I've never seen happen before. So someone said that earlier. I agree with you 100%. As a matter of fact, when we were starting the Dow Treasure Academy, she was on my mind. I called her and I sat with her outside the bench over at SBRC.
Yeah.
And I just listened to her. Like, what are the things that we need to do? What are the things that we need to check off? I asked Mike about being a champion. He says, I feel like I've been a champion my whole life. We're talking about celebrating a young man of excellence, young black man of excellence. How do we create this? Because he's not the first, but you have another one that you reared out of your home. And I see other young people that you impact. What is the secret sauce on impacting our young people? We've got some single moms out there. They're out there feeling like, I don't know what to do. What is the secret sauce? What did you do? And what would you share with them are things that are key to a young person's success?
Well, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me because everybody's not at church, but they need a firm foundation. Bottom line, whether they listen, whether you think they're listening, whether they're sleeping. My kids were raised in church. I didn't grow up in church. I started going to church when I was about 15, 16. other than going on the Sunday school bus. Shout out to First Baptist. But I've raised my kids in church. I think it's important that they have a firm foundation, and that they have a moral compass. The Bible says, raise them up in the way they should go. When they're old, they won't depart. And I hold dear to that. I hold on to that. But having young people that are engaged, I think having young people engaged and exposed. One thing, even when I didn't have much, because there was a point in time where I didn't have much, right? But you know, we were involved in AAU, so they traveled a lot. I take them to different places, museums, just getting them exposed to something more than Saginaw. And I love Saginaw. Saginaw is home, but Saginaw is not a representation of the world. So my kids have been some of everywhere, because of sports, because of my job. And I try to provide that for young people, the young people that I work with as well.
Okay, so I want you to share, because these kids, your sons were not raised, they weren't in private schools.
Oh no.
You know, people are like, oh, you can't send your kids to Saginaw. There's a ton of kids that are in other school districts, because Saginaw does not provide the education for young people to excel. The opportunities is crazy. They're gonna end up gangbangers, carrying guns. It's just, you cannot do it in Saginaw public school systems. I want you to share. So I want you to tell them, why are they wrong? Because you have, you weren't just a stroke of luck,
no,
but this was something that actually happened, not once, but then again, you're doing it again. What was the difference? How do you make it happen?
So let me make this clear. My kids have been in Saginaw Public Schools since they were old enough to be in school. They started in Head Start. Shout out to Head Start. But they started at Kempton. I worked at the health department, so I needed to make sure that my kids were close to where I was. So they started at Kempton. They later on went to actually, Michael went to Hanley for a little bit, like his last 2 years of school. Shout out to Miss Main. She actually sent you congratulations. I didn't get a chance to tell you that. They went to SASA, then they went to Arthur Hill, and now we're at Saginaw United. Anyone who thinks that your kids can't thrive and they'll be gangbangers because they go to Saginaw Public Schools, you're crazy. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can thrive. Some of the greatest people have come out of Saginaw Public Schools. All of his cousins, most of his cousins came out of Saginaw Public Schools. You're talking about Sandile Ashford, who was valedictorian of Saginaw High School, and Zinga Ashford, who was valedictorian of Saginaw High School, Nalisha Owens, who was salutatorian of Saginaw High School. They graduated, but he's a lawyer. He graduated. You know, his uncles, they were in Saginaw Public Schools for a while, then they went over to Bridgeport. DeMarcus and Dominique Bowen. DeMarcus is a police officer. DeMarcus is a scientist. I mean, Dominique is a scientist. He's out at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I mean, talk about just Darius. Darius is out in DC and Maryland. He's an educator.
So excellence is in the DNA, but you got to challenge it.
Absolutely.
And so excellence can be in the DNA of your young person as well,
absolutely,
but you have to challenge
absolutely
it to come forth.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you look at who we are as a people, we just came out of Black History Month, but every day is Black History for me, 365
absolutely.
Black. We have gotten to a place that we no longer challenge. Thank you, Cheryl. The excellence mindset, and our young people are equipped with it, and they have it on the inside. But we've got to be willing to challenge it. I want to ask you, young man, who happens to also be the #1 individual academically in his class. So he is the man you'll be giving a speech on graduation day. I asked him what was next, and so what's next?
So next month, I'll be going to the U.S. Open. So, for these next, about 7 weeks, I'll just be getting ready for that. It's at the end of April. I qualified and registered for freestyle and Greco. So if I place at the U.S. Open, if and when I place at the U.S. Open, I'll qualify for the World Team Trials. And then when I win the World Team Trials, I'll get put on a world team, sent to a different country, represent our country.
And so this is only the beginning. He said he wasn't surprised when he became the champion because it was a necessary evil to get to his ultimate destiny, which is to be a world champion.
Yes.
Young man, I want to thank you and your mom for being here today. Thank you for being a young Black man of excellence. Thank you for showing other people that it is possible right here in our community, in our school systems. When the village surrounds us, and we speak life into our young people, great things are possible. Thank you all for tuning in on tonight. God bless you all. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Straight Talk with Kareem